And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. It was a late-night setback for Senate Republicans looking to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. And it came just hours after the GOP succeeded in getting the votes to begin debate. Abigail Robertson brings us the story from Washington.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell narrowly won the tense battle over formally bringing health care up for debate on the Senate floor so that a new health care bill can finally be discussed and amended. But the war over actually passing a measure to repeal and replace Obamacare rages on.
This is just the beginning. We're not out here to spike the football. This is a long way.
GOP lawmakers have campaigned for years on repealing and replacing Obamacare, and many worry about the consequences in the 2018 elections if they miss this opportunity. Senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski voted against letting debate begin on a health care bill. And that made Senator John McCain's dramatic return to vote in favor of it after being diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer, critical to getting the motion approved. But McCain was quick to say this doesn't mean he will vote for the GOP health care bill as it stands now.
I will not vote for this bill as it is today. It's a shell of a bill right now. We all know that.
McCain encouraged his colleagues on both sides of the aisle to work with one another in compromise on issues for the good of the American people.
We're getting nothing done, my friends. We're getting nothing done. Let's trust each other. Let's return to regular order. We've been spinning our wheels on too many important issues because we keep trying to find a way to win without help from across the aisle.
McConnell agrees with McCain that the parties need to come together, but he says some issues, like health care, are just more partisan than others. As of now, it is unclear whether senators will vote on a bill to just repeal Obamacare or repeal and replace it. But they're dedicating this week to having an open amendment process that lets senators offer their ideas to change the bill. Leadership hopes that process leads to a health care bill that has enough GOP support to pass.
We're going to sort this out in a thoroughly open amendment process in a situation where 51 votes can change the bill.
The president says he's proud of the efforts of Senate leadership and acknowledges health care is very complicated, though he's optimistic they'll get it done.
I believe now we will, over the next week or two, come up with a plan that's going to be really, really wonderful for the American people.
President Trump says he has his pen in hand, ready to sign an Obamacare repeal and replace bill, or just plain repeal, whenever it hits his desk. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
The future is unclear for Attorney General Jeff Sessions. At a Tuesday news conference and on Twitter, President Trump expressed disappointment in his decision to appoint Sessions. The president called him, quote, very weak for recusing himself from the federal investigation on Russia. He also says Sessions should be tougher on the leaks coming from the intelligence agencies, and only time will tell if he stays.
Very disappointed with the Attorney General, but we will see what happens. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Sessions has reportedly said he has no plans of stepping down from the position. U.S. officials say North Korea will have a nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile by next year. The Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency says a, quote, reliable nuclear-capable ICBM program could be produced by 2018. The communist regime also threatened a nuclear strike on, quote, the heart of the U.S. if it tries to remove Kim Jong-un as leader. That information comes from the Korean Central News Agency. Kentucky could become the first state in the nation without an abortion clinic. The pro-life group Operation America is mobilizing hundreds of volunteers to protest the EMW Women's Surgical Center. It is the state's last remaining clinic. Charlene Aaron has more on this story.
Louisville is ground zero in the abortion debate. Police are on standby outside the EMW Women's Surgical Clinic, where a pro-life group has been holding peaceful demonstrations.
We have never been under siege like this. We never had any question as to whether we would exist. So This is the most we've ever been under siege.
So this is human beings. This is a Holocaust that is occurring in our land. 4,000 children every year. And so we come out to oppose that.
Operation Save America, a Texas-based pro-life group, has been holding vigils outside the clinic, the only one left in the state. Its long-term goal is to make Kentucky a national model in its push to end abortion in America. Across the country, a growing number of abortion facilities have been forced to close for failing to meet new health and safety guidelines.
2 of the abortion mills were shut down, and we have 1 left. And we feel like Kentucky stands ready to be the first state without an abortion center.
Last week, a federal judge issued an order forcing protesters to stay away from a buffer zone outside the Louisville clinic. Protesters will be arrested if they cross the boundaries of the zone. Pro-choice leaders say the order is needed to give women privacy while entering the facility.
Just trying to create a little space at the entrance so women can access their medical care.
Our federal government has become a tyrannical beast. It's a serpent, and it is protecting murder, and it's taking away rights.
Meanwhile, it's clear where Kentucky's Republican Governor Matt Bevin stands on the issue.
It is a state where the vast majority of Kentuckians value the sanctity of human life and want to protect it to the absolute degree possible.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Scientists are attempting to build DNA from scratch. Researchers at New York University are working to create custom-made DNA that will be inserted into living cells. This changes how the cells work and could provide treatments for diseases. In the past, scientists have only been able to make changes in the DNA code, but now they're hoping to start over by building and redesigning life forms. Researchers from Northwestern University find the attempt unsettling and say the work would disturb people who believe creating life from scratch would give humans unwarranted power. How bad is football for the brain? A new study from the Journal of the American Medical Association looked at the brains of more than 200 diseased former football players, including more than 100 who played in the NFL. Mark Martin has this story.
Mike Adamle spent half a dozen years in the NFL as a running back in the 1970s. He recently retired from sportscasting and is living with what he says doctors believe may be chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE.
The only thing that I remember was that he said you have symptoms that are concurrent with CTE.
CTE is a progressive degenerative brain disease associated with repeated head trauma. Currently, it can only be confirmed after death. Adamle says life is up and down. He fights against the depression, frustration, and forgetfulness with exercise, diet, and cognitive stimulation. He also relies on the support of friends and family.
We've got sort of a fraternity of players who just, call each other up whenever we need it and, for lack of a better phrase, talk each other off the ledge, and because you do really get paranoid and depressed.
In a new study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, Dr. Ann McKee of the VA Boston Healthcare System and the Boston University CTE Center studied the donated brains of deceased former football players who played in high school, college, and the pros. Doctors examined their brains for signs of CTE, and the relatives of players provided information about athletic histories, mood, and cognitive symptoms. Pathologic evidence of CTE was found in 177 of the 202 former players, a whopping 87%. That includes 110 of the 111 NFL players whose brains were studied.
The main results were there was a shockingly high percentage of CTE amongst the brain donors. That is, we found 110 out of 111 former NFL players had diagnostic lesions of CTE at autopsy. We found 91% of college players, and we found even evidence of CTE in some high school players, about 3 of 14 or 21%. So this says to us that CTE is a problem. It is a problem associated with football.
The study says it has several limitations. Researchers say it's important to remember that brain bank donors don't represent the overall population of former football players. Adamle wants the game of football to be safer.
Whether they can do that over a period of time in the next 20 years, I'm not certain. I don't think anybody is certain.
So what I would like to see going forward is a comprehensive collective determination to solve this CTE problem. That is, how can we diagnose it in young players so they can stop playing when they're already developing signs of it, and how can we treat it in players that are concerned that they already have it? These, to me, are enormous public health concerns that we need to address right away.
Mark Martin, CBN News.
Up next, hear from ranchers along the Arizona border facing the threat of terrorism. Arizona is a hot spot in the immigration debate, and reporter Chuck Holton traveled there to talk to area residents and law enforcement about what's really happening along our border.
Warner Glenn's family first settled here along the Arizona-Mexico border in 1896. At 80 years old, Glenn works the ranch each day and is well known throughout the area. He says illegal immigrants have always been a part of the landscape.
And we moved down here in '62, and at that time there would be 2 or 3 illegals coming through and looking for work, and all the ranchers worked them on and off. They were wonderful for especially hard labor type work and good cowboys if you needed a cowboy. But I tell you, nowadays, the few that are coming through are pretty hardcore, especially the drug guys.
And that drug trade results in an overall rise in crime.
When they come back, if they go by a residence and nobody's there, they're going to go in and look around. And firearms, top of the list. Any kind of jewelry, top of the list. Cash, top of the list.
We don't lock the doors because they'd just break the window anyway.
Billy Grossman lives nearby, and illegals have entered his home a number of times. He recently caught a smuggler trying to steal his truck.
Well, I brought him back to the house, and my wife called the sheriff. And the sheriff and Border Patrol come out and got him, and then we went back to the pickup, and there was a bale of marijuana in the back of my pickup, and he had stolen a lot of stuff from the house.
But petty theft isn't what worries these old cowboys the most.
And that would be nothing to a terrorist from ISIS or these guys. It'd be just a cakewalk for them to go up through these mountains.
Well, if it's that easy for an unemployed Mexican to walk across here, ISIS come in here plumb simple.
It's a concern shared by many in this sector, including former Army intelligence analyst Dr. Scott Catino.
We have major threats coming through this region, and we're not taking it seriously.
They have developed such a powerful and potent intelligence network in this country that they're able to use and know when the Border Patrol is going to be active, where they're going to be. Our security and our resolve is not requisite to meet that level of a threat.
This is one of the loneliest border crossings on the U.S. southern border. It's on the Tohoto-O'odham Indian Reservation, which is about 4,000 square miles of desert on the U.S. southern border in Arizona. The Tohoto-O'odham people live on both sides of the border, and they used to cross with impunity. But it's getting harder now for them to visit their relatives because of the incredible amount of human smuggling and drug trafficking that happens in this area.
Unemployment on the reservation sits at more than 25%. While the average annual income is only about $8,000. This makes smuggling an attractive proposition when cartel members offer up to $5,000 per load. Matt Thomas is a deputy in Pinal County, just north of the reservation.
That is all open desert, and there's small villages throughout the reservation, but no major towns, no major cities, very minimal population, very minimal law enforcement. So they don't have a lot of interference to deal with between Mexico and when they hit our county. There's a huge area that the cartels use to cross into the U.S. where they go undetected. And as they cross into that area, then they start to funnel because of terrain towards our county.
That makes catching these smugglers more and more challenging.
They've gotten more advanced, and there's more numbers. They set up their own networks now, and they pretty much control the terrain from Mexico up in those routes that I'm talking about, and they have good control of them visually, which means that if we go in to try and intercept, whether by air or by land, they know that, and so they can adjust, they can shut down operations, and they can maneuver around us.
Those that want to come in this country and harm us, terrorists, have the infrastructure to get through here in Cochise County.
Cochise County Sheriff Mark Daniels oversees a border county covering more land than Connecticut. He says the Obama administration's policies only make things worse.
Anytime this administration talks about amnesty or anything that does with the border, we have an influx of people coming across. We sit back all the time and just wonder, why won't they do something to fix this problem?
Our policy, one of controlled failure, keeping it at a certain level. Something where the president could say, I doubled the manpower. He doesn't tell you the rules of engagement are so restricted that individuals in the Border Patrol are being persecuted, penalized, and marginalized for doing their job.
Each person we spoke with has high hopes for the next commander-in-chief.
I'm hoping that the president just takes a hardline stance and says, look, we are going to stop this massive migration of people through the southwest border. We're going to start enforcing the laws we have on the books.
A wall's not going to keep anybody out. I mean, they'll climb over it. You still got to wait. If you build a wall, you still got to watch it.
I'm praying that America, that God would allow America, that we would have a leader that would love God and surround himself with godly advisors, because God is the only one that can save America.
On the U.S.-Mexico border, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.
A gospel legend talks romance, music, and regret next. Donnie McClurkin is the voice behind We Fall Down, Great Is Your Mercy, and the list goes on and on. But those are not the focus of our Studio 5 conversation today. The pastor and recording artist is talking romance and regret. That signature voice has earned Donnie McClurkin 3 Grammy Awards, multiple Stellar Awards, and Dove Awards, and sold more than 10 million albums. Beyond the music, McClurkin is a pastor, father of 2, and a grandfather. What's fatherhood like for you these days?
Oh, you know, it's different because I finally got my son back. You know, puberty takes your kids away from you.
I'm going through that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Puberty takes your kids away. So I lost my son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I lost mine.
The last 2 years. But I got him back now. Mm-hmm. And he's back to the wanting to be around and clinging and you know, it's stuff that I've always longed for and how we used to be. Mm-hmm. So now that he's got his mind back, now those hormones are kind of balancing out some. It's great, you know. He wants to start traveling with me some, so. Nice. And I'm going to put him to the test. Oh, God help me. This is, I think, the crowning glory of a life, when you can see yourself in your son.
Does he sing?
He will not. He refuses, but he's into art. Now, he can draw up a story. My brother is one of the most phenomenal artists that you ever want to see. Somehow or another, that gene got into my son.
You're one of 10 children, correct?
My mom and dad had 10 children.
10 children.
And only 8 of us lived.
Wow.
2 were born, stillborn. Okay. And yeah, mom and dad, they had a different kind of relationship. I can count 10 good fights. I'll put it like that. Wow. And after each fight was a baby. So, you know.
Donnie learned faith from his father and mother. Mom also taught him to sing and the basics of piano.
Daddy wouldn't say much. He'd just come and sit in the concert. And that was his seal of approval.
Didn't say anything, just...
I was 45 when my father finally said, on international television, I'm proud of him. And I cried on television like a baby. Mm-hmm. But to hear him say those words, I'm proud of him, blew me away.
I'm not going to do the Matt Crouch on you.
I'm
not going to do that.
I will fight you. I will fight you.
Just in case you just tuned in, Donnie McClurkin's getting married.
That announcement from TBN's Matt Crouch sparked summer headlines and rumors. Donnie McClurkin was about to walk down the aisle. I do want to talk about the fact that you said the one thing missing is a wife.
Yeah, one thing missing is a wife. And that void has become a chasm. After you accomplish everything that you can literally dream of in life, and that's my story, that's my Cinderella story, that God literally caused me to accomplish everything that He purposed for me to do, and more. And then you sit back, you know, like Alexander the Great after he conquers the world, and you sit down in your private time and figure that out of all your accomplishments, you really have nothing. you know. And I have a wonderful 2 children. Love my boy, love my girl. But the wife aspect is the void. That's the goal that I'm looking to fulfill in this last chapter of life. Had I followed the principles of the kingdom, I would be fulfilled at 57 with no void. You get dressed by yourself and you fly by yourself and you're in your room by yourself, and the only time that you're with people is on the concert stage or preaching on Sunday mornings and at the congregation that I pastor. I'm not going to cry. This is a real sensitive area in my life now. Now, I'll tell you, I'm afraid. I'm so frightened, it's not funny. You're a Christian. You shouldn't be fear. You should have no fear. Be quiet. Let's be human for a second.
Absolutely.
My fear factor has paralyzed me from going forward in relationships. And I think this time I'm going to wade through the fear in order to finish my life.
Do you know what the fear is? What's the
I don't want anything to fail. I hate failed relationships. Fear is, false evidence appearing real.
Absolutely.
And it appeared so real to me that I denied myself that. And now, at this stage and age, I want to go for it. I want to go for the golden ring.
A blessing and transparency. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Your Wednesday word is destiny. With that said, don't let your past talk you out of your future. You may never feel qualified for what God is calling you to do. Just know He qualifies you for whatever He calls you to do. Be encouraged with that word today and make this a wonderful Wednesday. That is a wrap for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. We'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. You can hope you'll join us again right here next time. Make this a wonderful Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.